Hello everyone and welcome to this short video introduction to Raging Alcoholics Blackwing Lair hosted puck runs. In this video series I'll be going over every boss encounter in Blackwing Lair and which strategy we use for each boss, so everyone knows what they'll be doing when we are doing Blackwing Lair. Before we get to the first boss here, which is Razorgor, I want to go over some of the initial, like the rules and the loot and how we're doing these puck runs. Just so everyone knows what will be happening. First of all, we all meet here in Blackwing Lair. We all stay here in this tunnel. You do not run into the first room. We stay here. If you have world buffs and you want to save them, you can log off, but make sure that you're on Discord and listening so you can log on whenever we're ready to start. Our first and number one priority is that all communication on Discord and in raid chat must be friendly and positive and constructive. This goes for the raid leader as well as everyone else. It's very important for us as a guild and in our puck runs as well that we have a light-hearted and positive atmosphere. This is really our top priority. Second of all, as for the loot, we have a main spec, off spec roll with a +1 that resets before Nefarian. Furthermore, if you show up inside Blackwing Lair with Diamol tribute buffs as well as either the Onyxia or Warchief Blessing world buff, you will get to roll 110 for all your items instead of just 100. That means that when people are rolling for items, if you had those buffs, you can do a /roll 110, which obviously gives you a bit of an advantage over people who can only do a /roll 100. We want to reward that extra effort of showing up with all the world buffs, and this is how we do that. Furthermore, we have some requirements for consumables. We require everyone to take a list of specific consumables that are listed in the raid chat. These are not excessive, these are very reasonable consumables. If you do not take those consumables before any boss encounter, you will be disqualified from rolling on loot for that boss. As for add-ons, we require everyone to have deadly boss mods as well as details. Again, the same thing goes here. If you do not have these two add-ons installed and working, you will be disqualified from rolling on any loot. That's pretty much it for the introduction here, guys. Thank you so much for signing up for our raid, and let's get to the boss tactic for Razorgor. So the tactic that we're using for Razorgor is the two-corner strategy, where we split the raid into two. We have a side on each side of this platform, and we do not kill the dragons. So pretty much we have two tanks on either side that are tanking the dragons, while all the DPS just kill all the humanoids. Casters and healers stand on the platform, and melee stand below the platform on either side, below the ramp here. Melee need to make sure that they stay away from the dragons so they do not get cleaved, and healers, you need to focus on keeping tanks alive, and when healing becomes too much, you can run down and you can fear the dragons. You only fear the dragons at the bottom of the platform, not on the top of the platform. Whenever new dragons spawn, they will run to the top of the platform, and then they will go for the tanks, because the tanks will put a few sunders on them. And that's pretty much it. So we tank the dragons on the bottom of the platform, we kill the humanoids, we have someone dedicated to controlling the orb and mind controlling the boss, and then we have a backup for in case that mind control goes wrong for some reason. When we do the pull, we always kill the mind control guy first. He will be marked with a skull. Just go slow on these ads, make sure that no one dies on them, and let the warriors build up rage, so we have plenty of rage when the ads start spawning here. And that's pretty much it. Once we're done with phase 1, we have the main tank, the mitigation tank, destroy the last egg and take aggro on the boss. Then we make sure that the second one on threat is also a tank, and then it's just a pretty standard tank and spank. Casters and healers can do line of sight here with the boss if you want to avoid the fire volley, but we, as you can see here, that's not something that we concern ourselves too much with, because the damage is so negligible, and everyone can use a health stone or health potion if need be. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Once the boss dies, make sure you do not run into the next room. We just stay here and do the loot, and then we move on.